Rasulullah. Go live for Gaza, day 5, a way out. So, inshallah, in this session, we're going to see how Allah will make a way out and how we can achieve that and how that benefits us, inshallah. And I plan to really share this more at a collective level than an individual level. Because one of the questions I had asked of me was, how is this benefiting the people in Gaza? And of course, what I'm doing in these videos isn't benefiting them directly, unless, of course, they get a chance to listen and it brings them some sense of hope or peace in hearing what I have to say. But I actually feel that they're in a much more peaceful state of mind than maybe we are. And so my words probably have very little impact on them. So how is this of benefit to the people in Gaza? Is because each and every one of us are part of the solution. And unless we're all showing up and being true servants of Allah, then we are letting the team down. We're not being the part of the solution that we can be. And that is how it is helping the people of Gaza. So the more we are being strong believers, strong servants of Allah, the more collectively we are attaining the help of Allah. Which brings me to Allah will make a way out. This is one of my favorite passages of the Quran. I think there is so much in these words. And whoever is mindful of Allah, He will make a way out for them and provide for them from sources they could never imagine. And whoever puts their trust in Allah, then He alone is sufficient for them. If we look at that at a collective level, because really this is now become a collective problem. What's happening is not happening to the people of Gaza. It has become a global issue. And so how can we look at this verse instead of how I usually share it at an individual level? How can we look at it at a level? So if we are mindful of Allah collectively, if all of us come back to Allah, turn back to Allah, take Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as our guide, and I'll share a little bit more about that in a moment, and be mindful of being guided and follow that guidance, then He will make a way out for all of us and provide for everyone from sources we could never imagine. Let's blow this up to a collective. And that means that includes the people of Gaza. That's how, by us showing up as our best selves, we can be part of the solution. Because if we're doing our part and everybody does their part, then inshallah, the solution will come from places we could never imagine in terms of resolving what is happening. And the last part, and whoever puts their trust in Allah, then He alone is sufficient for them. Meaning that we don't need anything else. We only need Allah. So how do we be mindful of Allah? So that can be answered in many, many, many different ways. But I want to answer it from the perspective of what we teach it back to the Fitrah. So by being conscious and aware, being conscious and aware of how Allah is guiding us. And when we are aware of that, then following that guidance Each and every one of us is being guided by Allah. But we spend a lot of time in an emotional state or in an intellectual state or in an egotistical state. And all of those states, we're not actually noticing and following Allah's guidance. We're following our own desires. We're trying to make ourselves feel better, or we're trying to figure it out ourselves. By being conscious and aware of how Allah is guiding us means we're coming into the present moment. We're in a state of calm, and we're aware that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who knows best and knows the best way out for us collectively from the situation that we're currently in. Which then brings us to this verse that says, those are upon right guidance from their Lord, and it is those who are the successful. And if we are in that state, whether it looks like we're successful or not in this dunya, it doesn't matter, because as long as we are successful in the akhirah, that is what matters. It may appear to us in one way or another that we are not successful in this life, because maybe it doesn't look like what we have believed success to look like in this dunya. We will only truly know if we have been successful when we come to that point where it's the end for us. That is when we will know. That's when we will start to know. SubhanAllah. But in the meantime, we live from one moment to the next being reflective and aware. Am I feeling uncomfortable and trying to do things to feel more comfortable? Or am I trying to figure it out in my head and trying to work out how to do it myself? Or am I thinking I know best? Or am I submitting to Allah's guidance and allowing Him to guide me and following that guidance? Because that is where success lies. SubhanAllah. So how does this help? When we are in this state, we really enter into the state of tawakkul, total trust and reliance upon Allah. We let go of the idea that others have the answers. We let go of the idea that we have the answers. We realize that truly the only one that has the answers is Allah. And we rely upon Allah, and Allah is sufficient for us as the disposer of our affairs. And from that space, we feel at peace. We feel at peace. We feel certain. We feel certain of the direction that we must go. And we feel confident that whatever the outcome is, it's good for us. Alhamdulillah. And this is the state of the true believer. Alhamdulillah. So if we want a way out of this, the best thing you can do right now is look at yourself and go, what am I doing? Am I really truly being that true believer in Allah, a true servant of Allah? Am I doing what I'm meant to be doing, or am I off on some other pathway? And then come back to Surat al-Mustaqim, come back to the straight path. And if we all do that collectively, inshallah, we will see the beautiful outcomes. We will see the results coming from places we could never imagine. Because right now it's hard to imagine there's a way out. But that's okay. We don't need to know, because Allah knows. Alhamdulillah. So the plan is, I'm going live every day, sharing one thing each day. Make the time, inshallah, to find the video on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, or from our emails, and reflect on what I've shared slow down, spend some time reflecting on the message of the daily video. Make sure you share it so that we are lifting the ummah together, so that we are sharing the khair together. Because if we work together collectively, we can make a difference. Share this with those that you love. Share this in WhatsApp, Telegram, wherever you can. And also make sure you share your takeaways and insights in the comments of the video. I would love to read what you took away from this. And if you need support, reach out. And this is the way you can reach out. In the comments, you can type help, and we will send you a link so that we can support you, inshallah. If you are keen to join our summit from the 15th to the 21st of November, where we're going to be sharing all sorts of topics about challenging relationships, about parenting teenagers, about addictions, about spiritual growth and personal growth, and all of those amazing things that will help us be that true believer in Allah, then just type the word summit in the comments below and we'll send you a link to register for free. And if you would like to be part of the solution and become a Back to the Fitrah educator, mentor, or coach, just like those that you see at Back to the Fitrah, then please just type certification in the comments and we will give you a link so that you can register your interest, inshallah. Until tomorrow's video, stay strong. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu reported that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "The strong believer is more beloved to Allah than the weak believer, but there is goodness in both of them." This is a Sahih Muslim hadith. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, inshallah. I'm going to quickly check and see if there are any comments in the chat. There are not comments in the chat, so I will leave it here and ask you, if you're listening to this recording, to please share your takeaways, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.